Man, when it comes to rumors, I swear DC has like the most exciting rumors out of anything. Like Marvel's like, oh yeah, they're doing this, they're doing that. Oh, Image are doing this. Oh, there's a Hellboy thing. But when DC drops some rumors, either from 4chan or Reddit, it's usually phenomenal. And most of the time, it's something great, other than, Deathstroke being Batman and then Robin being Joker. There's been times where it's pretty bad, but we're back at it again, guys, with another rumors slash linked slash whatever you want to take it with a grain of salt. But again, 4chan and Reddit have linked out some information for the DC Extended Universe. Now I guess this is kind of like a part 2, because if you haven't seen part 1 where I break down the first rumors, some of those actually came into part. One of them was about, Deathstroke being the villain for Suicide Squad 2. This one talks about it as well. And of course, if you've not seen my breakdown video about Deathstroke being in a solo Batman film, make sure to check out that video on the top of the right of the YouTube card. But here we go, boys. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm only going to talk about the parts I read that actually interest me, and hopefully they interest you. So one of the beginning ones is that Cyborg is out, folks, except a full film of a Titans movie with Deathstroke as the main antagonist. They also say that Nightwing will be in it, and that Cyborg will also be in a Flash movie. And they say that Barry and Vic, Cyborg and Flash, knew each other in school, so more likely they went to the same school, which is pretty cool. They did say that Deathstroke was offered a bunch of actors, but ultimately it went to Joe Manganiello. Now, if you guys saw my breakdown video, I did a whole conspiracy, pretty much 99.9% sure that Joe Manganiello is gonna be Deathstroke. They say the name of the Superman would not be in the title, so more likely it's gonna be something else. Man of Tomorrow, Man of something, who knows? And then they say that the villain is gonna be Brainiac. Yes, a lot of people have been asking for this. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This could be false, but again, everybody wanted to see Brainiac. He's like one of the best Superman villains of all time. Also, you can use him for a Justice League villain, but then you would kind of have to explain, why, what's his purpose. So, but they are saying that they were trying to get several directors, and one of them on their top of the list is J.J. Abrams and Duncan Jones. You guys know me. I really like J.J. Abrams' work. I think he plays it really safe when it comes to the source. Like you saw with the Star Wars, it was kind of like the New Hope, but it was their own version. But that's great, because when you're gonna do a relaunching of a franchise, you want to play it smart and safe at the same time, but also put your spin on it. And I think that's what Man of Steel needs. A lot of people have some issues, how dark it is, how gritty it is. I think J.J. Abrams can go in there and clean it up and show you that, this Superman does show hope. They also say that Lex Luthor will be the key to the character of Brainiac's new origin. In the link, they talked about that Brainiac and Lex Luthor are going to become one, like how Lex Luthor is the one that created Brainiac in a way, or something like that. But this reminds me a lot from the anime series from the Justice League. You guys remember that, when Lex Luthor becomes Brainiac? So it seems like we might get a fusion of them two together, and then that's going to be the main villain, Lex Brainiac. Brain Luthor. Edgar Wright, who's one of my most favorite directors, he left Ant-Man. They saying that DC is trying to get a project just for him. Hello, there's Shazam. There is other movies, Titans. If they're going to do the movie Titans and get rid of Cyborg, let him do Titans. Yeah, have you seen Scott Pilgrim's? Yes, let him do Titans in that kind of formation. I would love to see that happen. So what I've talked about has been some pretty good news, but this one kind of scares me. They say that they're trying not to make Justice League feel overcrowded, but it's very clear that it is. It's a lot that they're working with already. Looking to be a long movie, they know they cannot cut out a ton of stuff and repeat the past mistakes. So they know that they're going to have a lot of characters into this Justice League film, and it's already feeling overcrowded. So with the Deathstroke, with the tease and all that, I think that's just going to be an after credit scene, but which is weird because I guess you're not supposed to show that, but I guess Ben Affleck wanted to see what the fans thought. All right, this next thing I'm going to talk about, they say that Justice League villain is Steppenwolf, as you all know. The League fights parademons for a good chunk of the film. Lex is let out of prison and gets into the public to love him. He tries to manipulate the public on hating on the heroes like Batman, Superman, and it doesn't work. Lex helps Steppenwolf come to Earth to exchange for technology and knowledge. Lex is very manipulated and much calmer than he was in Batman v Superman. He is also much scarier in my opinion. There's a funny scene after the League is assembled where Joker and Harley are committing a crime and they expect Batman to show up. When the whole League arrives, it's really funny, and Joker and Harley just stand there, not knowing what to do, kind of like, well, shit moment. Later, the League get their ass kicked by Steppenwolf, but then Superman returns and weakens him. And what they say after the big fight is very, climax is very cinematic, like the way Avengers had it when they defeat all those aliens. I can't remember the top of my head. But then the best part is that Superman comes back with a beard, and he looks a little bit thinner, but he has a beard, he has long hair. And the best part that got me excited is that Green Lantern shows up at the end of the fight and said that there's a bigger threat coming, and it's a hint towards Darkseid. They also talk about that they might not use Darkseid for the Justice League 2 villain, which makes sense just because, with Thanos around the same time, that's the best thing they could do, is not do Darkseid for Justice League Part 2. They also mentioned that the other considerations they're having for villains is the Injustice League and the Crime Syndicate and the Society, which is great. The Society is not all that great. It's with Lex Luthor as the main villain, and then the Injustice League, you already know who they are. The Crime Syndicate, please, it would just make me so happy. Imagine a different version of, Batman, who's Owlman, and then Superwoman, and then the Ultraman. Like, everybody wants, and then a different evil version of Flash. And then they can also explain, there's a person out there eating worlds, the Anti-Monitor. I want to see that happen. This is another interesting part for you guys who are big Flash fans. They say the Flash release date is in March 2018. Villains are the Rogues, led by a really creepy Captain Cold. The film is going to be really fun, but Captain Cold is strange. Creepy is the really best way I can describe it. That's what the person says. They also mentioned that the people who are behind the Flash project love the Speed Force scenes and all that, so they're going to do their own versions of how they're going to explain it, how Ezra Miller's Flash can go back in time. Next thing they talk about is the Batman film. Right now it's called The Batman, through the consideration of other titles, and it will be released around October 2018. Okay, they say this. You guys can check it for yourself. I'm not going to read the whole thing because they basically are going to do the Arkham Origins storyline. They say Black Mask is actually the main villain, and he gets a bunch of Arkham villains to take down the Batman. Joker and Harley have a subplot involving with a bomb or something like that, and also they're working with other inmates. But in the movie, Harley sees how the Joker really does treat her, the abusive and all that, and Batman tries to help her out to get out of this relationship because he's telling her it's not healthy and all that. Deadshot, Will Smith's Deadshot, will appear a very short matter of time. Amanda Waller as well. All Deadshot wants is his freedom and for him to be with his girl. But there is some kind of confusion because they say that Deadshot is an Arkham Asylum, which is weird because he's at Belle Reve. Why would it be Arkham Asylum? They say that Amanda Waller sends out Deathstroke to put a hit on Batman. So Black Mask has villains going after Batman, and then Amanda Waller is the one who hires Deathstroke to kill the Bat. A lot of you guys have seen some fan art already for Luke Evans, who's a pretty good actor. He was in the Fast and Furious movies, and he was in Dracula. They say that he is rumored to play Sinestro in the Green Lantern Corps. I could see that. I would be okay with that, but Mark Strong just did a great job as Sinestro. He does a great job at any villain role. I would like to see him. I wanted him to play Lex Luthor, to be quite honest. Him or, Bryan Cranston or Michael C. Hall were my top 3 picks to play Lex Luthor, but we all know how that turned out. But they say in the Green Lantern movie, Atrocitus is being mentioned, but the main focus is Sinestro and Hal Jordan with the other Green Lanterns to make their appearance as well. So the people that are big fans of the Shazam movie, as myself, they want to do something fresh and new to revamp Black Adam into the Shazam movie. So the person says, from what I've heard, Dwayne Johnson has been in consistent communication about what they could do to make the film better. Billy is also a huge Justice League fan, and at the end of the film, he meets all the Justice League members. That's awesome because, that just makes me happy. The rumors are still saying that Channing Tatum could be Shazam now that the Gambit film is done because it got canceled because of the leading director was going to be on the Gambit movie, but now he's on the Justice League Dark movie. If you want more information about that, check out my other breakdown video about the Justice League Dark. Now, this one's not huge, but we could just talk about it for a second. Rob Lowe, they really want him to play a Flash villain, but they don't know which villain just yet. By the look of the actor, more likely he looks like a Captain Cold type. They say that the next couple trailers that are going to be coming out for DC Extended Universe will be light and fun. They say the Justice League second trailer is going to be great. Wonder Woman is going to have a lot of fun with also a little tease of the villain in it. Now, this one got me really excited because they also talking about bringing a DC Extended Universe show to HBO exclusively. Now, that is very exciting. You guys remember my old pitch, how they could do the before Watchmen, bring back all like the Watchmen actors? Like, you think about it, most of them are TV actors. Bring it back for HBO, explain the Watchmen story. And the way they could do that is that episode 1, you get the full hour of explaining Rorschach. Then episode 2, comedian. Episode 3, episode 7, and then that's the tale of the story right there, because everybody wants to know more information about these characters. Or they could do, I don't know, like another storyline that's a dark character, like Animal Man would be really cool to be, be approached by HBO because it's really dark and gritty. There's a ton of shows they can do. Phantom Stranger will be another great one. Dr. Fate, they can also do all these on HBO. Now, this one got me really concerned but also excited because this one says the animated films will be shown what some of the characters are up to during the events of the other films. So they're saying, like, Ezra Miller's Flash, we might get an animated movie of him, or like a snippet. You kind of think of this as like the Marvel one-shots where they did like, Hail to the King and all these other ones. They haven't done one in a very long time because now they have Netflix series and they have all these other things. So I think this is the smartest thing that DC and Warner Bros. Could do, because one, you don't have to like explain it into the movie. You can explain it into one-shots, or they can upload them to the DC Comics channel. They can upload them to Warner Bros. Channel. You can do whatever you want with these characters. That's the best part about DC and Warner Bros. That they need to get the ball on it, is that they have thousands and thousands of characters they can use because they have all the rights to. Now, that's the perfect opportunity to do them, but who knows? Suicide Squad 2 will happen through after 2020, likely to be 2021, and they said it will not be directed by David Ayer. Now, this one is confusing a little bit because I thought he was going to be part of it, so who knows? I think he is, because Suicide Squad is making a lot of money. Say what you want about it. It was off pace, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever. I think he had a vision. It got corrupted a little bit because of the light tone and all that, and also he wrote the script in 6 weeks. That can also be a big, letdown sometimes to people. And the last two things I want to talk about is that the DC Extended Universe has been mapped out by Jeff Johns and Zack Snyder for 2025. So we're going to get DC movies until 2025. The Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie is up in the air right now. They're leaning on the edge of approving it after the success of Deadpool may use it as a WB show. I remember a while back there was a writer who did The Flash with Kevin Smith. I can't remember his name, but he wrote Thor, the first one. He came out and confirmed it that he's actually writing something for the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold movie, but it looks like it could be ending up on a HBO show, or it could happen onto the movie just because of the success of Deadpool, because how funny it was and light tone it was, and everybody loved it. But that is it for today, guys. I know this was a long video, but a lot of you guys have been asking my opinions about this, and I'm really excited whatever they're gonna do. Again, September is the month that they start pouring out actors, directors, rumors coming out, if they're true or not, about the DC Extended Universe. And supposedly there was going to be a big live stream like the way they did for the first time with the DC Extended Universe, where all the actors came out, talked about their characters. Jeff Johns and Kevin Smith hosted it. They need to do more of those because it was awesome. I want to say thank you to everybody that supports my DC Extended Universe videos. You guys are awesome. If you guys want me to continue doing like these rumors, breakdowns, then give this video a thumbs up. You know what I mean? You're all the way here to the end. You might as well just hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. But thank you guys so much. Make sure to check out my other videos on the top right of the YouTube card if you're bored and you have nothing else to watch. And my question for you guys, out of all these news, which one do you think is most likely to be true? My name is JaeRoar, and I am the best at what I do, and that's giving you that 1-2 punch.